I'll give the white boys some love.
I give love.
Notre Dame.
I'm giving Quinten Post love. I'm so excited about Quinten Post. He's white, right? I love white guys.
Trust me, man.
A lot of some of my best friends are white.
What is going on here?
Yeah, what is going on here? Trevor Hass, beat writer for Boston College men's basketball team for the Boston Globe. Trevor, good morning, man. Thanks so much for joining us on short notice.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. All right, tell us about Quinten Post. Boston College, all ACC second team, had about 3 30-point games, some 30-10 games. Tell us about this player, man. What is his strengths? And then we'll get to his weaknesses.
Yeah, well, I would say his biggest strength is his versatility. I feel like he's a guy who can beat you outside, beat you inside, beat you off the dribble, beat you with the pass. Really does a little bit of everything. For BC, it was their first 20-win season since 2011 last year, and he was the biggest reason why. He was really not a great player to start his career at Mississippi State. Didn't really get much of an opportunity. Averaged 1 point per game his first year, then 3 his second year. Transferred to BC, started getting better and better, and then the past 2 years he's been a star. So really just a versatile player who does a little bit of everything, and I think he'll have a strong NBA career.
What kind of offense was Boston College running? I know the college game's so different from the NBA, but like what the Warriors run is a very specific offense. It's like a ball movement, read and react system. So what kind of offense was he in?
Yeah, they kind of based their offense a little bit off the Sacramento Kings, which people out there might find interesting. Just real movement with, getting people around the perimeter and kind of spacing the floor and just running offense through the hub of post. So it's not obviously not calling him Tim Duncan, but for the sake of comparison, just kind of him at the hub there, kind of running the offense through him in the middle, and then shooters around him like Mason Madsen and people who could kind of space the floor, and then the offense would go to him in the high post, and he would spray it to the wings. So I think they were pretty effective in that for the most of the year.
Trevor, what about his defense? Is that a weakness of his? Tell us about his defense.
I would say it's a question mark. I don't think it's a defense weakness, but I do think it's an area where he can improve going to the NBA. I think his lateral quickness is really the only concern I had going to the NBA, just because he is a true 7-footer. I mean, his versatility and his shooting, we all know about. He really can spread the floor. But on the other end, I think it will be a bit of a concern in guarding, 2s and 3s in the pick and roll, or if he gets stuck on a point guard, it will be tough. But I don't think he'll have a problem guarding 4s and 5s. I think he can move his feet pretty well for his size, and his length really helps him. He's a legit 7-footer. So I think that's the area where he really does need to prove himself. Offensively, I really think he's pretty NBA ready right now. Obviously, he can improve, but defensively is the area where he really can, show that he really belongs.
All right, here comes the joke. All right, I'm saying this on the front end. How is he getting yelled at by someone like Draymond Green? Is he able to have that kind of demeanor? I mean, the standards are high for Draymond Green and the Warriors.
That's a great question. I feel like he's better equipped to handle it than most. I wrote a story on him last year, and he's a really interesting guy because he's very calm off the court. Like if you meet him, he's the most laid-back person you'll ever meet. He plays chess, just really laid-back person, and kind of just chills. And then when he gets on the court, he's extremely competitive and ferocious, just like a completely different person. So I'm not calling him Draymond, but I do think he can kind of mesh with a personality like that, where it is, out of left field, you never know what's coming at you. So obviously, Draymond's a different level, but he is capable of kind of adjusting to those punches and just rolling with them.
I know how Boston feels about Draymond Green, but Draymond's maturing at his age, Trevor. Come on, man. He's not going to be yelling at Quinten Post. He's going to love Quinten Post. How you guys feeling in Boston right now?
You should love Quinten Post. Yeah, they'll pair with them well. They mesh well together, their games. So.
No, I see that a lot. So Trevor Hass here, from the Boston Globe, covering Boston College men's basketball team. We know about Boston Celtics winning. We know about Draymond. How do you see the Warriors, though? Because I know I can tell you watch basketball, you watch the NBA. How do you view the Warriors going into this next season?
Yeah, I think they're at a crossroads. It's been really fun to watch. I've loved Steph. I actually lived out there in 2015. Lived with my aunt. She's listening. Shout out to Abby Kalos.
Where's she live at, Trevor?
So she lives in San Francisco, I'm going to butcher this now, in Berkeley right now. They used to live in near Alameda. So.
I love that. Cool. I love that.
Sorry if that was wrong, but I think it was 9 years ago, but I think that was right.
Yeah. But shout out to her for listening to this program.
The A's. What was that?
I said shout out to her for listening to this program. Sorry we're making her ears bleed, but, we appreciate the listen.
Yeah, so I lived out there in 2015, and I love that Warriors team. I just, went to the parade, went to the Western Conference Finals Game 6 against the Rockets, one of my favorite basketball memories. So I've been a Warriors guy for a while. So cool. I think they're at an interesting crossroads right here. They've been so fun to watch for so long, but now it's interesting to see what happens with Clay, with Paul George, if it does happen. I would personally keep Clay as long as he possibly can. I mean, just based on the history of it, I feel like you got to ride it out and see what happens. But I do think a guy like QP can help him long term in that transition because, the modern NBA is so much spacing and so much, development with kind of guys who have potential and really need to take it to the next level. So I do think he's a guy who can kind of help that transition where they have some younger guys who can come in and infuse energy. So I'm curious to see how it shakes out.
Do they call him QP? Is that his nickname?
Yep, that's the short for it. QP.
Quarter
QP.
pounder. I like that.
I do like
Let me
that.
ask, what's he like? What's he like as a person? Like, is he a video game guy? Is he, the party animal? Is he laid back? Like, what's he like off the floor?
Yeah, he's very calm. If you meet him, you wouldn't really know he's a ferocious athlete outside of his obvious height, but so that's the kind of giveaway. But otherwise, he's very calm, just very modest, very humble, approachable. I wouldn't say he's too crazy, and nothing outlandish. He's from the Netherlands, so he has a bit of a European personality. He's just very, very calm and kind of, he's sophisticated, intellectual, approachable. So, and then, like I said earlier, off the court, different kind of animal, just a guy who becomes extremely competitive and ferocious. So, real contrast there, and I've enjoyed seeing that manifest from talking to him off the court and then seeing him on the court.
He must be jacked up that the Netherlands are in a group stage, in the knockout stage of the Euros, right?
You're just flexing now. You're just trying to show how much.
He's Dutch. He's got to love the national team, right?
You're doing too much.
Trevor?
Yep.
Yeah, he grew up playing soccer, so I'm sure he is.
Now the footwork makes sense. He played soccer. See, Shasky?
I'll stand down.
Hey, I like you a lot, Trevor. I like that accent. I love everything. Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Boston.
Wow, so you must be living the dream. You're writing for the Boston Globe, the premier newspaper out there with our boy Gary Washburn.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Hey, did you know that we have like crazy beef with Boston? This show?
It's not a shocking development.
Well, we were out there a couple years ago when the Warriors won, and we were in WEEI. Jermaine Wiggins is our boy, but the rest of that crew, I had to shut them down there on WEEI, let them know what was what.
I do love Wiggins, though.
Wiggins is great.
Yeah, Wiggins is cool.
He's a character, yeah.
And Trevor, you're great as well, man. Hey, thanks for coming on our show.
Y'all traded Mookie Betts to the Dodgers.
He's not a Red Sox
That was
fan.
if you ask 100 people in Boston, 100 people would tell you that was a bad trade.
Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt. Well, Trevor, thanks so much for the time,
stuff,
man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Trevor Hass. Again.
Trevor Hass, beat writer for Boston College men's basketball team for Boston Club. He's got a nice laugh. Talks a little fast. I like that, man. The urgency.
You do a little Paulie Walnuts. He does a little.
Yeah, he gave you a little.
My favorite is when he said, roll with the punches as a joke at the end.
I know.
I mean, that was
a five. That's a Friday five.
I'm leaving that alone. I left it alone.
What did you do?
It's always fun game.
You guys, hey, man, when Draymond plays 65 and he's barking and he's blocking shots and he's hitting the open three, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to hear nothing. Let's go. I'm riding with the champs. I'm feeling good this morning. I really am, man. I like Trevor a lot.